What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of William Zepeda versus Mercito Gesta, and this is going to be a 12-rounder in the lightweight division, and this fight is going to be Saturday, September 16th from the Commerce Casino in Commerce, California, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on DAZN, and to get into both fighters' resumes, William Zepeda, fighting out of Mexico, holds a record of 28 wins with no defeats and 24 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked number 5 by BoxRec in the lightweight division and is definitely a recognized top 10 lightweight contender. And to list some of his best victories, he's defeated Jojo Diaz, former world champion, by unanimous decision, a dominant unanimous decision that was. He also defeated Jaime Arboleda by knockout in the second round in his last fight. He also defeated former champion Rene Alvarado by a clear unanimous decision in a very good fight. And he also stopped very highly touted prospect Hector Tanahara Jr., winning by corner stoppage in the 6th round. But to get into his opponent's resume, Mercito Gesta, fighting out of the Philippines, holds a record of 34 wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked number 24 by BoxRec in the lightweight division, and he's also a former 2-time world title challenger. And to get into his losses, his draws, and his best wins, he's lost by knockout in the 9th round to Juan Antonio Rodriguez. He's also lost to Jorge Linares by unanimous decision, and that was for the WBA world title. And he's also lost by unanimous decision to Miguel Vasquez, and that was for the IBF world title, and that was about over 10 years ago. And to get into all 3 of his draws, he has a technical draw over 6 rounds against Carlos Morales. He also has a split decision draw after 10 rounds against Carlos Molina, and he also has a technical decision draw, against Rey Lagas. But to get into some of his best victories, he's defeated former world champion Jojo Diaz by split decision in his last fight, and that was a huge upset win for him. Both these guys have shared performances over Jojo Diaz, and obviously William Zepeda's was a much more impressive victory. And he also does have a unanimous decision win over Yoel Diaz Jr., and I did do a highlight video on that fight as well, so I'd appreciate it if you guys could go check that one out. And back into Gesta's resume, he also has a majority decision victory over Robert Manzanares. Robert Manzanares, Gesta defeated by majority decision. And lastly, one of Gesta's better wins is a unanimous decision victory over Gilberto Gonzalez Garcia. So in my opinion, this fight is just sort of a nice little baseline fight for William Zepeda. He got that win over Jojo Diaz. Then Jojo Diaz lost to Mercito Gesta. So really, in theory, the fight makes sense in this sort of triangle between Gesta, Diaz, and Zepeda. It's not really a fight that we need, but it's just a good stay busy win, I'd say, for William Zepeda. And Mercito Gesta is a very solid fighter, but I just think that William Zepeda is a much higher level fighter, if I'm going to be 100% honest. And just to get straight into my prediction, I kind of want to make this one quick because there's not really much to say about it. So yeah, I really think throughout this entire fight, William Zepeda is going to be in control. I don't really see Mercito Gesta having much success and winning many rounds, even though Gesta is a very tricky southpaw. Both these guys are southpaws. Gesta sort of likes to leave his chin a little bit open, if I'm going to be honest. He keeps his hands down a bit, tries to move around. He's got a pretty decent jab, or a pretty decent 1-2. He does have, but William Zepeda is a very solid pressure fighter, has good power himself. And yeah, I really don't think that Mercito Gesta is going to be giving Zepeda that much trouble in this one. If anything, in the early rounds, Mercito Gesta might be able to edge one round or something like that, just based on being more active or something like that. I don't think he's going to be winning any key rounds for outboxing Zepeda. I mean, he could early, like I said before, but it's pretty unlikely. And I mean, I'm being honest, I'm sort of writing off Gesta in this one, but I mean, if he's able to get the job done or make this fight competitive, that's very impressive. I mean, who knows? I mean, Zepeda does have that sort of bull rushing style, and Gesta has sort of the matador style that likes to box on the outside. So who knows? He could be able to just put on a boxing masterclass and pull off a massive upset, but I just don't see it happening. I think Zepeda will be too much for him. The pressure will be too much, and I think he'll just be doing a lot better overall. And after like 3 rounds in this fight, it'll most likely be like 30-27 for William Zepeda. He'll just be the one just doing much, much more, in my opinion. I mean, it could be 29-28 if Gesta has a good opening round or something like that. But yeah, moving on, I really just think that like from rounds like 4 and 5, I think that William Zepeda, after the first 3, will just be starting to find more openings on Gesta, starting to land his shots more. And then once it gets to sort of that the start of the second half of the fight, like round 6, 7, and 8, I see William Zepeda getting rid of Mercito Gesta. I think that Mercito Gesta will be getting hit by some nice combinations from Zepeda. Gesta has been dropped in his career before. So I think that William Zepeda, with his very high work rate, good power, and good speed, I think that he'll be able to get a Mercito Gesta out of there somewhat in the middle rounds, like from round 6 to round 8. And I could even see it happening a bit later than that, because Gesta is a very solid fighter, like I mentioned before. But I think that William Zepeda is just in a different league than Gesta, and I think he should be able to stop him, like I mentioned before, from round 6 to round 8. It could be a brutal knockout, could be a corner stoppage, could be a standing stoppage. In the end, I think that William Zepeda's record will go to 29-0 with 25 knockouts. So if you made it this far in the video, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could go hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment on your prediction. Yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.